So exercise 14.1 going on, we were talking about question number 3. Okay, so that is your data given and frequency is missing this time and mean is already given to you. Okay, so little bit of change of subject is required there. These were your CIs. So first thing we do is we find our Xi's, the mid value of the class interval, upper limit plus lower limit by 2. Okay, that way, or maybe the difference, half of the difference you add to the lower limit anyhow. So the mid value here is 12, 14, 16, so and so forth. So these are our Xi's. Frequency was given to you. Now I have done this question by assumed mean method just to teach you assumed mean as well as step deviation. One I've done by step deviation, but you can also do it by direct method. You could have done it directly. Okay, next column straight away fi xi का भी कर सकते हो आप. Okay, but yes, of course, if I've done assumed mean, then my calculations have shortened down. So as you can see, assumed mean is the mid value of the xi, which is 18 out here. So 18 I'll take as my assumed mean, and we'll find then di's, that is xi minus a. So 12 minus 18, that is minus 6, 14 minus 18 minus 4, 16 minus 18 minus 2. This way, 20 minus 18, 22 minus 18, 24 minus 18. Okay, so now we will multiply these two. Rather than fi xi, we can do it as fi di. So 6 7s are 42, 24, 18, all these products. Now here it was f, so 2 into f will make it 2f. Okay, wherever there is variable, variable will continue. You know how to solve algebraic expression as well, right? Okay, then we need to find sigma of frequency and also sigma of fi and di. So add up the frequency, numbers can be added, they are adding up to give you 44, and plus f, isko plus f करके ही लिख लो आप, no problems. Okay, likewise we'll find sigma of now fi di. In that also 2f as it is आ जाएगा, बाकी numbers will add up. So obviously some were negative, some were positive, so your resultant is quite small here. That's the advantage of taking assumed mean, reducing the numbers. Okay, now back to the formula of mean. We know mean of any number by assumed mean method is, वो जो a हम यहाँ माइनस करते हैं deviation के लिए, वो यहाँ add up हो जाता है. बाकी formula remains the same. Sigma fi xi की जगह यहाँ fi di चल रहा है. Denominator will remain the same, and that for that compensation of minus a here, you add that a here. So your formula for mean by assumed mean method is x bar is a assumed mean plus sigma fi di upon sigma fi. Put the values. We had done this sigma, we got it as 2f minus 40 upon sigma f was 44 plus f. Assumed mean was 18 and given mean is also 18. Rest is all your calculation. So ये आपका 18 तो balance हो जा रहा है. 18 minus 18, so you're left with a 0 here. So 0 is equal to this expression. इसे आप cross multiply करोगे तो denominator into 0 will become 0. You are only left with 2f minus 40, which gives you 2f is equal to 40, or f is equal to 40 upon 2. So that missing frequency is 20. Alright, so these type of questions are important also. So find more examples on missing frequency and try them. Okay. Next we are taking up example 5 in which it wasn't continuous data. So first we'll make the data continuous. Okay, so for making that, ये जो gap है यहाँ 52 and 53 from the upper limit to the lower limit of the next class, इस gap को हमें cover करना होता है. So the difference of 53 and 52, that is 1. Half of that comes out to be 0.5. So ye half of the difference is to be added to the upper limit and subtracted from the lower limit, and then automatically the two are going to match up. Okay, so if I add 0.5 to 52, it becomes 52.5. If you minus 0.5 from 53, that also becomes 52.5. So that is what we need to do in every class here. Okay, so that is what I've checked out. Half of the gap, which was 0.5, I have added as well as subtracted. So your data changes like this here. Okay, this becomes 49.5, this becomes 52.5, this becomes 52.5, 55.5, so and so forth, right? And then next job again to find the rest remains the same. We next find the mid value. For finding the mid value, it's either lower limit plus upper limit by 2. But as I had said, rather than doing that to each and every class here, another shortcut could be you again see the class size, half of the class size. So upper limit was 52.5 minus 49.5. That will give you the class size, which is coming out to be 3 in this case. So half of this class size, which is 1.5. So this 1.5 can be added to each of the lower limits to obtain the mid value. Okay, obviously this happens only when all the these intervals are of same length. Okay, varying length में आप ये नहीं कर पाओगे. For that you'll have to go for that lengthy method only, that is lower limit plus upper limit by 2. But अगर standard है सबका length, then we can cut it short by this trick. So adding 1.5 to all these lower limits, this becomes 51, this one becomes 54. So hence we'll obtain the mid values or the class mark, excise class mark. Okay, then frequency given to you again. Now this question I have done by step deviation. Assumed mean भी लिया है and length of interval भी consider किया है, just to explain you. Okay, you can do it directly also, but of course making use of DIs or UIs is definitely reducing your calculations, as you can see here. Okay, so after that I've taken out DI, which would be xi minus a. Assumed mean will be the mid value, which is 57 here. So now 57 minus 51, that's minus 6. 57 minus 54, that is minus of 3. 57 minus 57, 0. 60 minus 57, 3. 63 minus 57, 6. These are my DIs. Further, I've converted these DIs to UIs by dividing it by length of the class interval. So length we had checked already. Our class size was upper limit minus lower limit, that is 3. So we'll divide these DIs further by 3. UI is DI upon H. H is the length of the interval. That was 3. So which becomes minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. So you see drastically the numbers have reduced. So obviously our calculations become easy. Now we'll multiply UI with the frequency. So that's minus 30 here. This becomes minus 110, 0 naturally. Okay. So after this, if you do the addition now, your sum is also reduced so much. Sigma of Fi UI करेंगे rather than Fi Xi. Okay. So some negative, some positive balance हो गए. Plus 5 remains from here. Plus 20 remains from here. So plus 25 is left here. Likewise, we'll find sigma of frequency, and now the formula will be, in this case, step deviation method. X bar comes out to be A, assumed mean, plus H, that's the class size, into sigma Fi UI upon sigma Fi. So we've done all of this. We'll just put the values. We know assumed mean was taken as 57. Length was 3. We had worked it out here. Okay. And then sigma of Fi UI is 25. Of sigma Fi was 400. Work it out. Do your calculation. Now another thing here is, children, at times, most of the time I've seen children take LCM after this. See, this got cancelled, so ये 3 upon 16 बचा है. फिर आप LCM लेते हो, this number becomes something whatever plus 3, and then you have to divide it ultimately, and the answer has to be given as decimal. So it increases your calculation time. So I would advise you, इसको आप ऐसे रहने दो integer part को, convert this to decimal first and then do the addition. Your calculation time will be reduced. Okay, so I have converted 3 upon 16 to decimal, which is 0.19, and that has been added to A to obtain the mean as 57.19. आप LCM लेके करोगे तो वो गलत नहीं है, बट उसमें कैलकुलेशन बड़ा हो जाता है, बिकॉज ऑब्वियसली 57 into 16 विल बी अ ह्यूज नंबर. फिर एडिशन करोगे, फिर उतने बड़े को 16 से डिवाइड करोगे. सो okay, but anyhow you can do it that way as well. Okay, so rest of the questions are all direct, children. You can try and ask me in whichever one you have a problem.